What's going on, internet? Monkey Chow here. This is the gaming couch. Pulling up, sit on down, because we're getting ready to start a brand new build and run. Now, folks, when you think of build and runs, you're thinking of decks and cards. You're thinking of roguelikes that happen with building out your runs and your rolls while you're in it, or a tower defense that we've done. What if I was to tell you you could do that with city builders? SimCity, all the rest of them. That's what this is. This is called Against the Storm. This has been out for a number of years, but it keeps adding to it and adding to it and adding to it. And I just finally had to show y'all. I play this in the background. I'm starting completely from fresh. I killed out all my content. So we're starting from the beginning. This is a build and run like no other. This is a city building roguelike where our goal is to push back the storm and build out for our queen without making her too angry. You'll see. So notice here, this is our map. We have all the traditional things you would have in any type of roguelike. You got meta progression, you got things like deeds that as you're doing things like completing games, discovering things, you get more and more things added to your runs, to each one of them that go through. You can buy upgrades. These are things where I have to spend when you complete a mission to buy things with. And on the main screen, we have goals. You see those green things out on the side out here? Yeah, I gotta get to those. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we've got everything at the top. Notice we've got sealed fragments for things. We got this glowy thing here. Before we start on our first venture, they want to give us extra things for that venture. So in this case, I would like to get a box. This box has no lid, can only be shattered. They say opening it before the time is right grants 5 seal fragments. The culture so centered around expeditions, wagons are always heavily sought after and rationed. Range is increased by 2. I kind of like that, actually. Let's do that. Nice! So I can see a little bit farther. Nice. So I definitely want to try to get to a royal outpost. So what you do is you pick a spot. So let's say I do this spot right here. I pick a spot, then I'm going to venture in. I have to pick who is going to go on this adventure with me. You have different races. You've got the beavers. You have got the humans. You've got the lizards. I eventually have other races. No spoilers. You'll see them if you guys want to see more of this. So you have to pick what you're going to start with and your starting resources that come with them. I hate to say it. I don't know what's going to be in this area. So I'm going to go with some more food. And we're going to take some lizards. And we're going to take some humans. So we're going to take the roots. Now, I can choose up to 3 points worth of stuff. Each one of these on the right have 3 points. This just gives me more things to start my mission with. We're going to start on Settler because, yeah. And let's go build Molehill. So we're going to embark on it. Now, again, as I said, this is basically a city builder. If you're used to any other city building management type game where you have to manage your resources, you have to manage the happiness, you got to build things in it. That's this. But it's also a roguelike. Because I'm not going to know the things I'm going to run into. They are completely randomly generated in this game. Everything that I move through has tons of stuff that I can run into. All different types of events. All different types of things for them. And every place I go into has different effects. So for instance, notice here that you've got cricket mating, which gives me a whole bunch more in this forest. It looks like I'll get a lot of insects. That's pretty nice. So that's good food. We've got invigorating winds that'll come up on good days. So only when it's drizzling in the season. Your season changes and it rains more and more and more. And folks don't like being out in the rain. So I can earn this, which will get me some additional, basically perks on the game for it. And then during the bad times, during the storms, you're going to notice here that things are looming. We've got a looming storm that happens. And it only gets worse from here. It gets your resolve down. It gets your happiness down. You're going to have bitter rain this go round. That's not great. So hostility goes up. And notice my villagers will move slower. So it means I get my resources slower. It gets all the pieces slower with it. So we also have a couple of luck. So it looks like we have settler's luck, which is going to be consuming food during a break. That's kind of nice. Not consuming food during a break. So save some of my food. And trees get more wood. I can't say no to that. That's pretty nice. So, in we go. We have to build. Now, it is real time. I can pause at any moment. I can move around. If y'all notice here, all these different areas, these are the pockets of randomization. So, as I build into them and cut down the forest, it opens them up and things happen. You're going to see things like this that have dangerous glades. Fantastic. Great glades. Have great events in those. You're going to see ones like this, the forbidden glades. Really dangerous. They can be anything from messing up your people, making the queen anger, because if you look down at the bottom, if I get the queen's anger and impatience all the way to the right, game over. I'll lose the settlement, lose the mission. So my goal is to get to the top of here. I have to get to the top of the blue by doing good things and doing missions for the queen before her impatience gets up. So we need to start on in, which means we got to start with our randomized blueprints, because roguelike. So roguelike happens. I pick the buildings I want to build. So before I pick, I have a carpenter, a weaver, and a lumber mill. I didn't quite look around what I start with. I'm going to start with some eggs. These will give me some meat, as you notice here, and a chance of some leather. I'm also going to start with, what are these? Clay. Okay, so I have a chance of getting some food. Always helpful to either have a lumber mill or a carpenter. If you notice the way that they're structured, the planks are on both of those, but they have different recipes to build them. So as in any type of city builder, factory builder, where you're moving resources back and forth, you want a more efficient version of your recipe. The more stars, the more efficient it is. So if I get the lumber mill, I will be able to build planks more efficiently. I'm going to go with, but tools. Tools are used in some events. I think I'm going to go with the carpenter. Let's go middle road. Fishing hut would be great, but there's no water. So I don't know why I would get a fishing hut. I haven't seen any roots yet, but I definitely have seen meat. So we saw the meat here. So if I go into this, you will notice that there's small camps of small shells that do it. That means the only things I can gather them is a small trapper's camp or the trapper's camp. Take your pick. So I believe I need to upgrade my trapper so that I get better meat. So we're going to do the trapper's camp. And then for things that I want to build, I think I want to start making coats, because that'll keep everybody happy and they're not as wet. So we're going to do coats. All right, first things first. I'd love for y'all to see this right here, Mr. Turtle. What is this giant turtle? Well, this is called my hearth. This is where the fire is ongoing at any moment in time. My fire goes out, my people get upset. I can't let the fire go out. So we have to build necessities around the entire place. Upper right above my head, you will see that I have 3 humans and 4 lizards. I'm going to have to put them places, and they have to get into jobs. So I believe, check around here. I think I want to go to the, woof. There are a lot of heavy places to go. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to start by building out a couple of different spots. So let's do a, where's my lumber mill? Lumber mill, lumber mill, lumber mill. That is under industry. Right? No. Where are you? That's food production, resource acquisition. We need a lumber mill, a harvester. There it is. Advanced gathering camp. So what I do with these, I can rotate them with R, and I pick the direction that I want them to go. If I hover over them, just so you guys can see what they do, everyone that I hover over, they gather things, can collect resources from large and giant nodes for each. So we've got a forester's camp. That's the one that can collect grain and roots and vegetables. We've got ones that can do mines. We've got ones that do stone. And we've got our woodcutter. So notice that it looks like a little wagon. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. You can move all of your buildings, which is really, really, really neat in order to build. So we're going to use some of it to build our camp up here. We also need to start collecting some of those. So we're going to do a trapper's camp. I'm going to put that trapper's camp right here. That's a pretty cool looking trapper's camp. You know what? We're going to put the trapper's camp right next to it. Let's do that. I think I can get through here. I think. Maybe not. I don't know that I can move through that. Oops. Let's move it just a little. I don't think so. I think I put it a little too close. No, it's just the outline. It's just the outline. I can get through. I can get through. Now, other thing as well, before we keep going, we've got the Trappers Camp going. That's going to do these in a minute. We also have these here that are going to collect our resources. We need to give them houses. Now, there are specific houses for each one of them that eventually we'll get, which makes their happiness a little bit better. But each house, if I remember correctly, does a total of 3 people per house. Correct? Can accommodate the most villagers. Yes, each house can have 3 residents. So we know we have 7 people. We need 3. So we're going to do 3 of these. 1, 2, and 3. Now, just like any other city builder, though, you need to be able to move around the city. So we're going to have to create paths. The more paths we create, the faster they can move between each of these. So I'm going to do this. There we go. Now I can get through. And then, unpause. Everybody at the moment starts as a builder. If you're not doing anything, you build in this game. You go around, you have to build with it. We can also make the time faster, just like any other game. I can set it so much faster that they build up. And now I have these done. So since these are done, what I'm going to do is I have to assign people to be woodcutters. So we're going to start by putting a couple people in here. And each one has an affinity for things they're really good at. So I'm going to take 3 of those. And we now have to start saying where are we going to cut. We have to tell them where we're going to build into. So I believe we're going to go into this little glade right here. I'm going to tell it to cut this wood to build out some space for me to actually grow on. But additionally, to get the wood for us. So notice they're going to start cutting it down. That gives us the wood. That gives us the places for them to sleep. And they're almost done with 2 of the houses. That was pretty quick. Bringing up our Trappers Camp. So we got the Trappers Camp up. So let's go ahead and put some people into the Trappers Camp to get some meat. I'm going to put probably 2. Ooh, that would only leave me 1 person building. No, let's put 1. We'll be fine with 1 at the moment. If we get more people, we're going to stick with 1. Because I need 2 people building right now. Alright. Because we're also going to leave 1 person attending this, which is going to be him. He's going to keep the hearth flowing with wood. He's going to pick in wood and he's going to keep it going with him. Now, as you build up the hearth, you will actually get more things. Oh, and as happens during the entire time, you get 2 things. You get gifts from the queen, which I take here, which gives me, at times, I'll all of a sudden get this raven-like dude that comes back and gives me a thing that I can get, and it makes my run easier or harder for me, depending on what I pick. So I can decline them and get money. Money is important in this game. You get things with traders for it. Or we could pick valued tax, specializing in a particular branch of commerce. This will do packs of trade are worth 25% more. Or top 10 tips on how to cook efficiently. Gain 10 jerky for every pie produced. Eek. Let's just get 25% more. Let's do that for now. The other thing as well are orders. This is how you beat the game. This is how you'll get your missions. So the mission in this particular case, if I click on pick, I gotta choose what I'm gonna send back to the queen, but what rewards I get at the same time for doing so with them. Each of these here are the Queen's Grace. These are how I have to beat the mission with it. I gotta get through them. You can get Queen's Grace in other ways inside of events inside these, but this is the main way that you're gonna do them. So this would give me planks, bricks, and a scouts pack. Workers assigned in glade events can carry 5 more items. That's nice. But what would I have to do? I have to just discover 3 grades. That's gonna happen. That's easier than me actually giving them 35 of my wood. So we're gonna do that. We're then going to look at the next one. What do we have here? Objective. Complete any 1 glade event. Absolutely going to happen. Keep lizards' resolve, so their happiness, above 10 for 30 seconds. That will give me more lizards. That could be really nice. Some more meat, 3 parts, and happiness. Ooh. That's tough because I could do either one of those. So the question is, do I want porridge and parts or meat and parts? I think I'm going to go meat and parts. Then, we're going to come over here. objective, as long as I have a harvester's camp, which I don't have down yet, and a stonecutter's camp, I will then get clay, reeds, and tools. Or, if I can get 6 humans and not die, I can get a box of grains, grain production will go up, and I get a small farm. I am in a lush place. There is a chance that the farm is going to help me. I'm going to go with the humans. I will eventually have 6 humans. So now, we just let them go a little bit. Notice in the top right, it's going to show. I'm going to beat the resolve. I'm already at 12 with them. Notice I'm at 13. I'm almost at 15 with them. I'm going to get a few more very, very, very quickly. In 3, 2, 1. I have now solved my very first objective. So if I come up here and click on it, it's going to say deliver. That's going to give me 2 more lizards, which puts me at, what was that? 2, 7, 8, 9. So I got to get 3, 6, 9. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm good with the number that I got. But now, notice what is important that just happened is that I now have 1 under my queen. So the big part of here is, if you look, these unlock over time. 45 minutes in, I'm going to get these. 45 minutes of in-game time, not real time. So in-game time of 45 minutes, that's going to do it. These unlock for me. So we're going to do a couple things. Why do I have fishing? I don't need fishing. Why are you telling me about fishing? I don't care about fishing or sacrificing. Go away. I don't care about either of those. So everybody's housed. If you look in the top left-hand corner, you'll see that the house with a slash has 0s in them. Everyone is housed. But I did get more people, so I can assign another one here. Now, they do have a 10% chance to double their yield for meat, because that's the specialization bonus. So this is where you want to put the right people in the right places. That is awesome. All right, do I have anything? Let me go in here and look at my resource acquisition. I do have clay. I forget what I can do for clay. Does this get clay? Okay, collect resources from large nodes. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get clay. So I'm going to turn this around here. And I'm going to take a few of these. Oh, no! Thank you. Pass. That, okay. That'll take those out, and that'll take those. Now, we get another building option. What do I get? So I have a cookhouse, which can be skewers, biscuits, and porridge. I have a bakery that can do biscuits and pie. Now I get the pie? Really? Or I can do the provisioner, which does flowers, barrels that can be good when I get a tavern later. Ooh. Let's do a bakery. Oh, it's tough. I have meat. If I remember correctly, the skewers can be made from meat. I'm going to go cookhouse. We're going to do a cookhouse. And I'm going to put cookhouse around my meat, somewhere in here. I think I have enough resources to do it. Right? It's my food, my building materials. Okay. Okay. It's not too bad. Consumables, crafting, fuel. I think I'm okay. So let me see what my cookhouse can do. My cookhouse would cost me... Oh, I have to do planks. I don't have my planks yet. So we have to go build. Since we don't have our planks yet, I got to build that. I think I bought the carpenter, correct? I believe I did. Industry. I did. We're going to have to build a carpenter. But a carpenter is going to take 2. Uh-oh. Can I make... That's going to make a post. Makeshift post is where I can build crops and provisions. There you go. I can build... If I get a crude workstation, I can build fabric. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build one right here. Build a crude workstation there. So that this way, I can get my fabric. Because I have no fabric in order to build the lumber mill. So everybody's building their thing, building it up. We're going to put a couple of humans on here. So we're going to go 1. Let's put 2 in there. And at the moment, they don't need to get stone. They don't need to get marrow. We're just going to focus them on clay for it. Now, granted, there's nothing else there for them to get, but you can actually choose what you want to build, how you want to micromanage each one of them, which is super important because you want to be able to maximize everything you have with it. And that, folks, is Against the Storm. So this is, again, a weird little roguelike. Notice you get all your buildings, you build up with it and go forward with them. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I actually enjoy the hell out of this game. No, the first one I was explaining it a little more because I know this is not a game that's common that everybody knows about. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, this kind of flies under the radar. It's a sleeper hit. So if you want to see more of this, let me know. Tell me down in the comments, what do you think of a city building roguelike? Is this your style? Is this something you want to see? Hit that like and hit that subscribe while you're there. Those help me very, very much. Takes 2 seconds. We're on our way to 100. We're almost there, folks. All we have to do is get to 100, and that's going to be a hell of a goal to get to. Much appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoyed this episode. But for now, it is game over.